10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Day here in the DAC European qualifiers, Team Secret versus Ad Finem. One of these two teams, surprisingly enough, is going to be knocked out of the DAC qualifiers. Hard to think that one of them is actually going home, but that's the way the group stage fell apart, I guess a little bit for both of these teams. Ad Finem against Bears, getting 2-0'd, and Secret losing their series again. Gods, in this matchup, do you have a favorite?
I don't think so. You know, I felt like every matchup up until now, I feel like, oh yeah, I'll slightly lean one way or another. This one, though, I feel like is anyone's game. I don't really, and not like in a sense like oh, whoever's going to play better. I really feel like these teams are very evenly matched right now. So I don't think, to me, there's a favorite coming in.
Probably one of the closest matches, at least on paper, that we'll see here in the DAC qualifiers, and it's kind of surprising that we're going to watch one of them go out. We're going to start off with some early typical bans. Team Secret going to take away the Wisp and the Underlord away from Ad Finem. And, Ad Finem taking some...
I was wondering about the Ember because some teams aren't picking or banning it in the first phase, but Secret's one of the teams that are still first stage picking it for mid one. So it seems Ad Finem just don't want to verse it, and they're okay leaving a Slaughter in the pool, which be the first pick. Maybe Secret have something else in mind. They've played a lot of Keeper of the Light, which is sometimes seems like at least a first two pick for them. So Secret, one of those teams that does mix up their openings a bit more than others sometimes. Not so much.
Routinely the nice first pick, and we've talked about it plenty of times. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Nice versatile opening pickup because you can run it both as support or as an offlaner, and it works much evenly as both. Weaver has fulfilled a very similar role. Ad Finem are actually going to take us back maybe a month or two here, maybe not even that far. Shadow Demon Luna is going to be the 1-2 combo from them. I felt like this combination was actually waning a bit when it comes to drafting. Teams weren't picking up as much, and I thought maybe teams had just figured out better ways to deal with it. They played against it enough that they had developed strategies to deal with Shadow Demon Luna, but Ad Finem's still feeling confident.
Yeah, perhaps they feel it's a kind of duo that's going to work well against Secret and the kind of tempo that they play. Sometimes Secret may take a bit longer to come online, and that's where Ad Finem maybe think they can punish them, take some early towers objectives, get some good map control, and put them under a bit more pressure, which is kind of where Na'Vi had success. Na'Vi, very early game focused team. They like to do well in the laning stage and kind of snowball off of that, and that's something which I think Ad Finem also have in common with Na'Vi. They're a team who have really focused on that early game aggression. So we'll see if they can continue that against Team Secret, because both 2 games. They only had 2 games against Bears were very much dominated by Ad Finem in the early game. One of them especially. So I think Ad Finem is a team who can really put a lot of pressure on early on.
To most of the time snowball that through into a nice mid-game push, and this is where the Shadow Demon Luna really comes in, right? If you can win that laning phase, you very likely give yourself a decent window to close out the game with this seemingly overpowered push that is going to be this 5-man push that's going to be coming the way of Secret. Secret do respond with a Dazzle, which will help a little bit against the push with the Weave, and it'll also give them some minus armor, physical damage synergy.
Interesting, it's Secret banning the DACs here that you often see picked up with the Slaughter, but we also knowing that Skylark likes to play the hero a lot, and Ad Finem could have easily picked up a DACs here. Got some annoying like Bounty Hunter or Ricky type hero for MNT that he likes to play, and put a lot of pressure on with that. We'll see, speaking of Bounty Hunter, if that's something Secret considered banning out, since MNT has had it banned quite frequently against him. Ended up playing a Ricky the other day because of it, but it's actually the Ricky itself that gets banned, so perhaps we will see the bounty.
Is Riki's a little bit more prominent favor over over bounty hunter?
I think he's a little better as far as being a permanent scouting warding hero, because you don't come out of invis when you're planning the wards. You're permanently invis, but I don't know. I'd say the heroes are pretty comparable. He perhaps with a bit more early pressure through the AoE silence, something that perhaps Secret were already planning this puck pick, and Riki is a lot better against the puck than a bounty hunter.
Well, either way, it seems like Finem were not opting for either one of those invis heroes. Went for the Kunkka with the Shadow Demon instead, so that'll add a lot more team fight. It'll give you some nice long-range initiation as well. A lot of pick-off opportunities. Team Secret, though, they respond with the Puck. Puck being probably one of the better heroes to deal with Kunkkas.
Since the new 7+ patches, so interesting to see how Finem looked around this one. They picked the Mirana, which is often MNT's hero, but given the fact they picked up the Kunkka, makes me think they're more likely running a mid Mirana. And well, Secret, it's time to go back. Well, more than a couple of months perhaps now. It's the Drow strats coming back into play.
Team Secret's turn to ban.
It's probably one of those heroes, in fact, going way back, right? When the Drow Ranger strategies, patches and patches ago, it was the offlane Puck that was amplified by the Drow Ranger. So this is a duo that stood the test of time. Most likely here, obviously, we're going to be seeing Puck.
5 seconds remaining.
Nature's Prophet ban. I add Finem. That did you actually read that interview? What was it with their analyst from Ad Finem?
Yeah. About when they versed OG and the Fly banned out the Nature's Prophet that they were going to last pick. Yeah.
So apparently Ad Finem there thinking that Secret going to be running something here. And we were kind of anticipating a different offlaner just because Slardar has been favored as a nice support right now. So Vix Assassin going to be banned away by Secret, seeing as they have a nice intel mid. That would be threatened by the surprise Vendetta Impale and heavy mana burn cost.
Yeah, interesting to see that Mirana come back. I feel like that's been a hero not run all that much in the mid lane either. It does have good synergy with the Shadow Demon and does give them a bit more of a greater mix of damage output with the some physical from the Luna SD. Of course, there's the magic damage from the Eclipse, but it's kind of a different look because most teams are running more physical damage drafts lately, it seems, with all the Slardars, the Weavers. We've seen some SFs come out, the Slardar Lifestealers. We saw some Slardar PAs from Secret. So it seems Ad Finem want to take a slightly different approach by focusing more on the Mirana, the Luna Eclipse, so having a bit more magic focused damage output and more team fight emphasis compared to what
Invoker.
Radiant team pick.
Okay.
Poker mid now. Poker, Witcher Ranger. You have an Exort that'll be more pushing power. Is that where you're leaning towards, or do you like the more disruptive Quas Wex against Ad Finem's push lineup?
Ooh.
5 seconds.
Quas Wex is perhaps the safer of the two options. You're not going to overrun and lose the game too fast, but also I think I'd slightly lean towards the Quas Wex because you can still transition to that late game Invoker if you need to. I think Ad Finem will just punish an Exalt Invoker too much just through their aggressive play. So I could see it working with the Exalt Invoker. I just don't think they have necessarily the best setup to land Sunstrikes in the side lanes. They're going to have a pretty static laning phase, just looking to farm on 3 cores, and that's where I just
Well, there's slim pickings when it comes to offlaners now.
Enigma, perhaps one of the ones we've seen a bit of. But yeah, Underlord Darkseer. I mean, the Tide is like a forgotten hero that I don't think we're going to be seeing him come out necessarily. But Skylark heroes would be more like the. Oh, that's a more Skylark-like hero. I was thinking Batrider, but yeah, Legion's another hero who likes to play good against the push with the overwhelming odds and help out your teammates if they get silenced as well by the Drow or the Puck.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I wasn't kind of liking the idea of the Batrider pickup against Team Secret. It's some of it's a little bit. It's the range, the quick reactions of Draw Ranger and Invoker, especially if you have a Cost Wex Invoker. That can be hard for Batrider to deal with. You also have the quick reactions of the Puck, one of the for you to be able to grab, and also still Shallow Grave. And so I couldn't really think of a different Skylark hero. But I do like this one a lot more. The Agent Commander, as you said, a little bit more fitting against these when these push lineups are going to be clashing.
Absolutely, it's good. Even if you're the ones pushing around the SD Luna, it's kind of a nice defensive hero to have behind the Luna who may get initiated on. So let's have some nice flexibility there. We'll see. Early moves out. A smoke from Finem. Puppey was in the neighborhood, although he did not scout this one out, and they will run right past his observer ward as well.
I was wondering what he was
not going to break it too.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to position himself to pop a smoke the way he like placed that ward and then he kept running down. But Finem took a little time to wait for a group up first. They're going to be able to get one aggressive ward down. They won't be able to find anything though. We've seen MP that started backing away. Secret just playing it as safe as possible, and this has been the flavor of every single Shadow Demon lineup. They always smoke and they always go for some sort of
Well, all right, we'll see. It doesn't look like either team will get too much out of the level 1 plays. Aggressive move from Puppey is going to find himself a bounty rune, and triple bounty rune for Secret at Finem, just saying we don't need bounty runes. One just goes completely ignored, so it's so weird to see them take like complete control of that top side of the map and then they don't even end up getting the bounty rune.
Yeah, what's with that? I mean, I know they want to be able to get their lane as quick as possible. Maybe they're a little bit afraid of leaving Legion alone up there against Slardar Dro.
And I don't think Secret had like a scary 5-man smoke lamp either. Like they're looking, I mean, Drow, Puck, Invoker, these are not level 1 heroes you want to fight with particularly, so I don't really feel like there was much of a... I don't feel like they need to bring 5 heroes to secure their rune defensively.
That was kind of a weird play by Thug. He just kind of like charged up the ramp against mid 1, had a lot of misses too, where he tried to right-click on one.
Trying to get this early first blood. They've got the ward. They've got the ward for the courier, but I think they just want the kill at this point. And yeah, Spartan's going to go in and get the disruption.
Torrent going to come out, trying to block the creeps. Oh no, Spartan, he's now going to get dropped by the cold snap and a right click from mid 1. First blood goes his way, and Puppey's on the other side of things, catching maybe next time, body blocking him up. He has another crush up, so he can deal a lot of damage, unlikely to actually threaten his life. Best Puppey's hoping to be able to force a shrine usage. Not even that comes down. Skylark may be finding a kill. Pylai die, eats down a tree. Doesn't quite find him, though. He's going to pop a healing salve, and it looks like Skylark could be good, but is unable to get a kill in his offlane, which would have been rather surprising. MP was dropped pretty low there, too. Overwhelming odds.
I thought he might use it there. I mean, he still can, but it won't kill him off, and he's got a salve, so...
Well, Finem with some signature aggression and laning phase, sure, but not found its signature success. The Greeks have already given up first blood and had an awkward laning phase on pretty much all sides.
Yeah, the supports have now rotated up top, undetected for now, and looking to find another kill opportunity. Pylai die, tucking himself into these trees. We'll see if a disruption from Spartan is going to be possible. Yeah, it's an easy kill here.
He was playing it so safe and conservatively, and then he popped out, tried to get a bit of harassment damage on a Skylark, and that's when Finem pounced. So they do punish that support. This has left KheZu alone for the most part. He is being charged up against in a 1v1 against a Luna. That doesn't really feel too good. Jesus.
They want to fight again, yeah.
Spartan trying to eat his way through the trees, makes his way out. Nice torrent. Really good escape there from Spartan. That was, I don't know. That looked like a bit of a questionable dive. MP's got a little low,
yeah.
But...
It was the level, like, 1 or 2 Dazzle who just respawned so fast and was like, well, you're diving? I've already respawned. I'm TPing back in, and this Drow's going to be just fine. But yeah, you're talking about bottom lane. It does seem like Matter is getting a lot of pressure onto him down here. So he's constantly getting harassed down, losing the CS battle. Puck, KheZu with 12 CS to... I mean, Luna's just pretty much the same CS, but is forced back and He's chewing through a lot of regen right now.
And surely the support duo can still go on a Puck, right? I mean, they can disrupt, they can kind of fake out a torrent or something. You know, Puck just reflexively uses phase shift after disruption, and then turns out it was a fake, and they still get him. You know, they could zone him out, but they seem so set on putting pressure on a Drow Ranger lineup, and they're doing it almost with desperation. The way they dove mid and then they dove top lane as well. And almost were punished quite heavily for that. Puppey tries to make it go on to Madara, but can't get the distance close. Disruption into Torrent. They have the nuking power. They don't have Shallow Grave yet for MP, but it looks like he may still survive. Spartan does get the vision for himself. The illusions will finish him off. A cold snap on a baby next time as Midwan pursues. Skylark can't help him out. He does not have press the attack to be able to help his buddy out, so it looks like maybe next time he's going to be food for the mid laner. Spartan also going to be dying inside the trees. Ran out of tangos, it looks like, to be able to eat his way through. So, a Secret end up getting 2 kills in exchange for the pressure on MP, but you can call that a success for Finem, right? Even if it was 2 for 1, he did force rotations, and they did kill the carry.
Yeah, killing the carry and getting the Invoker TP, but even with that Invoker TP, Thug is still getting bullied in this middle lane. He is not having a good time anytime Mid-One's back in the lane with the Drow Ranger bonus damage, being constantly harassed down, and needs to be very careful. But as you kind of suggested, why not try and at least zone the Puck? And with the Orb on cooldown, they ideally want to try and go on him now. KheZu.
All right, they're going to catch him here. Torrent is going to be laid out right after the disruption. No phase shift, so KheZu will be brought down. Nuke, nuke, nuke. And we are good. 3-3, 5 minutes in.
That helps out this bottom lane a little bit. Get Madara a little bit of space and try and help him get towards that level 6, ideally level 7, so he can make that first kind of Eclipse rotation as well. Problem is going to be the top lane. It looks like Skylark got some pressure coming his way from Puppey.
He's slowed down by the Frost Arrows, and a little bit more. Puppey closing that distance, has the sprint. MP's given up on it, but Puppey certainly has not. He's got another sprint coming up in a second here. They've got the cold snap now from Mid-One, but a Moonlight Shadow is going to be used, and he does go invis in time. Life will be saved at the mid laner of Adfin.
A lot of space created. Just having the level 1 Frost Arrows, I was thinking as soon as LC's overwhelming odds movement speed wore off, it was going to be a kill, but the Frost Arrow is level 1. He went for an early point in Gust just because he felt like he needs it with all the dives going on at top, and perhaps should have gone for a extra cold arrow.
Awkward attempt with the Moonlight Shadow. They tried to go on KheZu, but again, it seems like Mid-One is fated to be holding a TP at all times to help out his side lanes. He TPs in, tries to get a return kill, but Finem managed to unentangle themselves from that mess.
Like it's weird because I look at this Invoker and how much he's TP'd around the map and left this mid lane and think, oh, maybe he'd be a little bit behind on farm. No, he's well ahead. 3k net worth. CS-wise, he's not dominating. I mean, a lot of it is that first blood goal that he got, as well as getting a secondary kill when he rotated up top, but he has not fallen behind because of these rotations as a Quaswex Invoker, so definitely has helped out his team a lot in making these moves.
Yeah, Finem, they are moving around quite a bit as well. It seems they know the static laning phase is just not theirs to win, so they're trying to rotate these supports around, and Skylark is positioned for these heroes to go on him, but it looks like Finem are just going to be there a bit too late. They disrupt onto the Mid-One Invoker. They're going to be able to get an arrow out. Looks like they did manage to stun him, but the Eclipse bounces. They hit only on the Dazzle, so the support goes down, yes, but Mid-One is kept quite healthy, and he has the Ghost to walk up, ready to go if necessary. So 4-4, they kill the offlaner. A big rotation comes out from Finem, but they only catch the support.
Yeah. Felt like Mid-One got incredibly lucky there with the Eclipse. At the same time, if it hit him a couple more times, I think no one would have died, actually, because Mid-One had the raindrop, is very fast. Say, like, 1, maybe 2 of those didn't hit Pi and hit Mid-One. I don't think Mid-One's going to die anyway, so...
Martin in trouble.
Yep.
Disrupts himself. Press the attack is not going to be here because the tornado hits him, but he actually... Spartan... Oh, no. He ends up dying still. The last shot comes out from the Drow Ranger. MP is level 6, so every single shot does quite a bit of damage now.
Yeah, I don't think... This is not like the kind of pace you want your Miranda to be playing at. Like, Thug's been moving around a lot, forced top lane. Doesn't feel like he's been able to just sit there and try and farm and finish his Aghanim Scepter. Just going to kind of set him behind and...
Mid one, how are you here? He's gone from top now to bottom. Is going to be able to counter Madara as he tries to go on to KheZu. The burst damage comes down from the puck. They have the press DAC to pull him right back in. Thug is here. Can he hit the arrow? Oh no, he hits it on mid one. Still trying to finish off KheZu. A phase shift does dodge a little bit more. Now he gets dueled up. So surely KheZu is dead. Thug can't fight into Puppey and mid one. So those two, that'll be a bit of a stalemate as they both back themselves away. So they do lose their Luna. They pick up a puck kill, and they got dual damage off of that. That's something. But it does seem like Secret is, when it comes to movement, actually staying ahead of Finem.
Yeah, I mean, Secret, it's for them, it's they're winning because they don't have to move everyone. Like, MP's just stuck in this top lane. Puck is stuck bottom. It's only the Invoker and Slaughter who are really moving, and they have two very active heroes while two of their cores are farming. For Finem, they're rotating all their cores. And speaking of which, Skylark, who's rotated bottom, yeah, almost goes down. But will be a tier 1 top tower for MP.
Attempt at a deny. No, unable to get the distance required. The Invoker having such a big impact in this game. Mid one has completely negated almost every bit of movement that Finem has made. And that's without the rotations of KheZu. KheZu's just been kind of chilling in this bottom lane for the most part. Has the TPs ready to go, but he has had some nice progression in levels and will start getting some gold towards that Blink Dagger as well.
Yeah, the secret of doing this with the Puck and the Drow able just to sit in their lanes farming. MP's caught well up after getting pressured a little bit, died the one time, but now he's been involved in 5 kills. He's almost got a Dragonlance to go with his treads, so he's got more than ample amount of farm. And if Secret want, they can consider making that rotation from one of their carries, or from the Puck or from the Drow soon, so that they can like group up and take a couple more towers. Like, Drow's kind of at that state where you're ready to perhaps TP towards this bottom lane, take 2 towers, feel pressured up top, like there's going to be rotations coming your way.
And interrupt that combo in time. Maybe next time he tries to hit the torrent, misses out on both of them. We'll get the X back into a duel here. Looks like they could probably burst him down. The arrow comes out and another winner. But it's going to be another loser too. Finem going to be dropping Spartan here in the back lines. Pylai Die almost dies. Does manage to shall grave himself. Thug push back though. Press the attack is going to help him out a little bit. But he's surrounded on both sides. Puppey was there on the other side of the river. So a little bit tricky acrobatics. Thug does manage to leap himself over the river and into the woods. Maybe next time with this Moonlight Shadow. Finds the X. Sets up the Torrent Boat combination. Nice Tornado to be able to interrupt some of this damage. Doesn't get hit by the arrow either. So most of the damage negated. Thug is now the one who's going to be silenced up and brought down by MP in mid one. It's some vengeance for Finem's poke of aggression there.
And just really good reactive play there. Mid one has just been very impressive on this Quaswex Invoker, and a complete thorn in Finem's side as far as Finem's ability to press forward, find team fights, and really get things rolling. It's meant to be the kind of slight team fight advantage for Finem. They've got the Eclipse, the Kunkka ship, and the Mirana AoE damage, and that's kind of the first time we've seen them kind of try and get together for a team fight. But Invoker just so disruptive and also very tanky at this point, already sitting on around 1,000 HP, and if you don't burst him down right away, he throws a Tornado EMP, and suddenly you've lost that kind of gap between you and him, and he's not done. He's looking for Madara as well with this EMP urn. He does a ridiculous amount of single target damage.
And he's burned to the mana, but they do have the wand. The Eclipse comes down. Mid one.
Oh
50
my
HP.
gosh.
Oh no, the boat's going to come in. KheZu's going to be stunned up. Skylark tries to hit the duel, but doesn't actually get it off. The animation is a little bit too soon. Arrow skims on by. Thug right in the middle of things. Double nuke. Goes for mid one. Mid one. He'll die this time. So does KheZu. Now it looks like Finem can finally get some kills into their coffers. Pylai Die targeted. Not going to be the choice here. Instead, they turn towards Puppey, but Puppey turns around, just finishes off the Kunkka. A couple of nukes come his way, but he is plenty healthy. Meanwhile, this is just time being bought for MP in the bottom lane.
I was like looking at it like, oh, right, finally a great fight for Finem. They finally put something together, and then you see bottom, you're like, oh, wait a second, how good was it? MP's free farming while that's all happening. He doesn't actually get the T2 tower, so a small little consolation prize there for Finem, but at least getting the Invoker and the Puck does make that decent trade for them. It's the kind of kills they needed just to shut down and slow down mid one, but as soon as he respawns, he's back looking to get aggressive again in this Radiant jungle.
Seriously, mid one just does not stop. He's just keeping up so much pressure on Luna, and a large part of this has got to be the extra the Drow Ranger damage.
Oh, they saw him with a sentry though.
Hit him now. Cold Snap couldn't stop that disruption, but it will allow Puppey to be able to close that distance and get the crush needed to finish off that support. With MP and Puppey there is nothing to do.
Yeah, looks like he got a little excited. He's like, "Oh, we've got vision of this Invis Invoker. Let's try and kill him." And Luna's there, like, "I got no Eclipse. Like, who's got damage to actually get that kill?" Shadow Demon's not even level 6 at this point. With all the fighting going on and the constant clashes, it hasn't really been a good game for his supports to really sit back and get any lane to farm or get some levels for themselves. So Finem will be once again put under pressure to win this next big team fight, probably around that Lunar Eclipse, but they also don't want to give Secret too much space to farm.
Seems like they're maybe a little bit done with getting picked apart by Secret. They group up for a 5-man. Eclipse going to be off cooldown in just 10 seconds time. Kunkka is defending bottom, and Shadow Demon's thinking about trying to rotate down, but he's been through this situation before. If Spartan gets caught alone, he's just going to be food for the Invoker, and he's basically another earn charge for Invoker to fill up on. So it seems like maybe next time, a little bit tankier. He's level 8, is going to try and solo defend this tier 2 tower. You could see mid one is still able to bring him quite low.
Like, the mid one's not like always, like, when he throws his combo like a aggressive tornado EMP earn, he's not looking for the kills. He just knows that getting a Kunkka down to below half HP and half mana means that they can't really fight. Like, MNT is forced to just farm with a ghost ship and then head back to shrine up or heal up at base. So it's just this nice bit of knowledge for his team, like, okay, this one hero is out of the picture for the next 40, 50 seconds because they're forced to heal up.
So it seems like Secret have had a pretty good read of Ad Finem's aggressive rotations with their supports and have countered that movement pretty well. What do Ad Finem do now? Because they're definitely behind, about 5,000 gold, maybe 2,500 experience. Do they just try and play conservatively, play a little bit more for their big mid-game power?
When they're going to hit that mid-game power pretty soon with the Ags almost completed, I'd like to see them go like aggressive, but not like diving towers, but with smokes. Like, they want to finish this Blink Dagger on Skylark, and then start finding some pickoffs using the LC, either with a Luna or a Mirana. One of those two cores needs to pair up with this LC and start finding some kills, so that they can just slow down Secret. If Secret are going to 5-man, then you need a split push. But if there's pickoffs on the map, you need to start taking them.
Going to be Secret who are going to smoke up, rotating across. Now, you could see Ad Finem were very scared of being caught out in this top lane push. They know Secret have the strength to be able to contest them. Spartan is going to be the one to take the smoke, and that feels completely intentional. He wanders out into the jungle when his other two cores are hiding. He reveals they were indeed smoking towards us, and the rest TP away.
Yeah, get all the info they need to know. And now they realize this bottom side of the map is pretty safe for the time being. I like though. I think he hung around a bit too long there. Luckily for him, Puppey just couldn't quite get in range for the crush.
Is this the Blink Dagger nuke? Overwhelming odds? Oh, Jesus, I did not do the damage I thought to finish up that creep wave, but it will get him his Blink Dagger either way. On the side, though, KheZu and the rest of his boys have actually come in through the side here between the Tier 1 and Tier 2. Get a nice disruptive EMP tornado combination, burning out the mana of a couple of them. They do have arcane boots, so they can still try and fight, but it's too late. Tier 2 tower is already gone. The Drow Ranger lineup is picking Ad Finem's objectives apart.
They're smoking, though. They perhaps think a Roche is going on. Secret, though, I think realizing as soon as no one's at that top lane farming, they're like, wait a second, what's going on here? Where did Ad Finem go? A single hero showing on the map, and Secret's ward vision right now in both top and bottom side of the map is pretty comprehensive, so it does look like they're well aware that a potential smoke's going down. Puppey looking to perhaps pop it and then quickly blink away, or just straight up blink away instead, and Moonlight Shadow now being used as well.
Only Ad Finem kept going. Maybe they could have found a nice pickoff on the Invoker, but their Moonlight Shadow's trying to surround this Tier 1 tower mid. Will get it, but they won't find the team fight that they were really looking for.
Yeah. Looking for a big kill or two there. They can really force anything too easily at Roshan. They don't have the best damage for killing him. They're also still just sitting on this level 1 Luna Eclipse. they don't really offer enough kill potential with the Eclipse until they get level 2 there. So would like to see them perhaps just prioritize sitting back, waiting for that before they go for any kind of a team fight. Again, though, using these smokes to try and get some good initiations off from the LC, finding some kills, throwing a ghost ship or whatever to get like a dual kill is well worth it at this stage. But Secret, for the most part, are sticking together outside of mid 1, who feels very confident in his ability to not get caught.
This guy can always split push, and I'm never going to blame him for taking some time to farm. That guy was so active and did so much in the first 10 minutes of the game that he deserves some time to finish up his Aghanim Scepter, which it is a Midas Aghanim Scepter by 20 minutes on one of the most active Invokers we've ever seen. So Juan is certainly showing up to play here in this game 1 against Finem in an elimination round.
Yeah, that's important when you have your mid player just come out in game 1 of a best of 3 and get as active as he is and just find all these kills. It's going to be a big confidence booster. Playing with casual harass, catches Skylark with a silence. Potential duel could have come out from that if Puck wasn't on point. But it does look like Secret happy to just kind of play around their side of the map. Wait perhaps for this Aghanim Scepter to be completed because they're not really aggressively moving too much on the map. Like, they've got a smoke on Slider, they've completed the blink, but it seems they're quite happy just to slow things down after having a very successful early game.
Yeah, and it seems like they know Finem is some of the steam is kind of some of the wind has come out of their sails as well. The fact that Draw Ranger is willing to farm like in this area of the map without a Shadow Blade. You know, he just has a TP scroll on him. That says a lot about what he thinks Finem are up to. He thinks, you know, they're playing passive, they're farming their side of the jungle, they're not actually going to be, you know, pushing out too much.
And they're not getting anywhere near the farm Secret are, because mostly just getting this couple jungle camps here, maybe 1 lane's worth of farm, whereas Secret have heroes at this point, now that the game has slowed down, farming all 3 lanes. So Luna's net worth is not really keeping up with the Drow or the Invokers. Mirana's is kind of close. She's a bit more kind of power farming capabilities, but it does feel like even in this slower state where Secret's giving Finem more room, it's still Secret coming out on top.
So is this the play for Secret for the foreseeable future? Do they stay away from team fights for the most part, away from this big eclipse, and just try and play more of an efficiency game against Finem?
Team fight to work, they need to make sure they're the ones getting a good clean jump, and that's why they're going for this smoke up here. They've got a great ward as well.
Man crush. KheZu's coming in from the side as well. They have a nice silence. Now a follow-up silence on top of that one. KheZu's going to be able to lock in 2 of these cores, make sure there is no escape for them. Puppey finds the perfect initiation. He said they needed to be able to find a clean one. Puppey gets 2 cores, now a support as well. That'll be Secret getting that into some sort of objective. If they want to, is a Roshan. Like, maybe that's what they'll back up for.
TP back to defend. I imagine the other 4 heroes just go into the pit, amp it up, and get going. They will have to deal with a little safety there, which is scouting, but at this point, with all these heroes dead, there's not a whole lot Finem can do to stop this Roche from happening. They're going to perhaps try, though. They are kind of grouping up around this area. Mirana, or an arrow at least.
Torrent and an arrow. A ship is on its way. MP's being bashed up by Roshan as well. MP's definitely very low in the pit, but he will manage to finish up Roshan and get that Aegis. Now Puppey's pulled back to his doom, it looks like, and Skylark's going to be able to get the duel on top of him. EMP, now Eclipse, chasing down Pylite Die, gets him. They brought down MP, and they're going to bring him down again with a nicely timed arrow out from Thug. Skylark's going to be caught, though. Nice disruption coming out from Spartan. The right defensive play that will save the only hero in danger from Finem. A pullback here, but no counter vision. That could have been a 4th hero down. And what a turnaround that could have been. Finem still a big-time upset. They got, what, looks like about a 2,500 gold exchange, and they took away that Aegis, meaning Secret are not going to be able to operate with that big advantage.
Yeah, the constant just chip from the Kunkka Mirana. You throw a torrent, then with Roche hitting them, then you hit an arrow. Every little thing to delay that Roche just meant by the time Roche went down, yeah, actually the Roche itself wasn't stopped or prevented, but Ad Finem catch them in the pit with a really nice team fight combination, and kind of goes back to that point where Secret, yeah, they've got this big team fight. They've got this team fight disadvantage, but if they can get a clean jump, they can make up for it. But that's Ad Finem getting the better initiation. So Secret, even though they've come out on top of the early game and the laning stage with a farming advantage, they still have to respect that Ad Finem team fight. That Kunkka, Luna, and the AoE damage from the Mirana is just too much for them to easily fight into.
Now, I know they lost in part because of the Eclipse. Secret, when this Eclipse is down, do you think they should be trying to get aggressive, like in this window, this minute time? Should they be trying to go out there and really get in Ad Finem's face, or do you agree with what they're doing now, which is spending a little bit more time farming and getting their next round of?
They don't necessarily want to just immediately go. I think there's still a lot of kill potential without the Eclipse. The setup from Kunkka or Shadow Demon can guarantee an arrow, and that's something I feel Secret are kind of lacking. A hero that gets jumped or set up on by a Shadow Demon or a Kunkka, you can't really save that hero. I say that like, no, they've got a grave. Like, yeah, you can grave that hero, but chances are when that grave wears off, they're still very likely to die, or they're at least taken out of the fight. So it's quite hard to push like down a lane when your opponents have vision of you and can just easily set up with a Kunkka X initiation. That 1000 range initiation for MNT makes it very easy to lead the fight with an X into Ghost Ship Torrent combo, and then Mirana can just go leaping in to do a large amount of damage. And now Mirana even has a Blink Dagger, so it gets easy to get in and out of the fight. So does still feel like Secret just want to play like the farming efficiency game, split the map a bit, and that's with the Eclipse down. I think the game plan doesn't necessarily change too much based on the Eclipse cooldown.
Ad Finem have been so scared of aggression coming out from that off-lane position, but they're going to smoke up and actually be able to, or Moonlight Shadow up. They get Pylai dies, a quick duel, that's perfect, but KheZu responds. He managed to get a nice setup in Coil. Tornado EMP will burn out Spartan, it looks like. The slowdown of Skylark will ensure he dies as well. Maybe next time, and Madara caught together as a duo. Nothing really Madara could do. He tries to get in the middle of things, set up for the Eclipse off of the ship's Coco's Rum, but it's not enough. He can't survive through all of that. Only Thug is going to be staying alive. Ad Finem, they seem so sure that something was going to come out of that offlane. They had scans, they had aggressive wards, they had a Kunkka kind of setting up, but they get aggressive in bottom lane, and they're going to lose all 5 with Thug being the final one to get caught.
But unnecessary from Thug. He's just going for an extra couple creeps there, skipping the wave and not seeing the catch from Secret from either the Puck or the Slider able to get on top of him. And yeah, that team fight was just a bit of a disaster for Ad Finem. The Invoker scouts everything out from the Ghost Walk, so he knows they're coming in. The Dazzle still gets caught, but that's the jewel and your position being revealed just for a Dazzle kill. I think that's really the big part with that initiation, is it reveals exactly where Ad Finem are, so the Invoker can line up a multiple hero tornado, and it allows the Slider and the Puck to come in and land their spells, and then
Skylark. He thinks he's coming in to save Spartan, but he just puts himself in danger of the Coil. Deafening Blast, a little bit more to finish off Skylark, and there's the Sunstrike, but no. Skylark does manage to dance to the side. With that Shrine, he'll be healed up now. Puppey with the Blink attempted strike is going to be caught. Pulled back by the X. He does have the Shallow Grave. That's going to prevent... or actually, no. The duel is won by Puppey. Puppey not able to get out, though. Madara will finish him off with a nuke, but they get a lot of damage on that tier 3 tower. They get some dual damage for Slardar. They trade 1 for 2. All things considered, Secret pretty happy with yet another exchange with Ad Finem.
Again, it's the mid one Invoker just doing so much work in these fights. He's keeping everyone's mana down, hitting all these Tornado EMP combos. Now he's got the pretty decent high levels in Exort as well, so we'll see that scary late game Invoker at the same time. And I think Ad Finem need to find a better way to get on top of the Invoker, the Drow Ranger. They're just kind of getting stuck in on the Slider at the front. I mean, Slider made a very ballsy deep dive there with that Blink to the high ground, but ultimately there's such good like range support coming from all 3 of the Secret cores that they can back Puppey up when he goes for those kind of dives.
Yeah, I think part of it is this Legion Commander pickup. It's an initiator, yes, but it's a little bit different kind of initiator, right? Not quite as good as being able to threaten those backline heroes early on to this game. He does have the Blade Mail now. That'll perhaps be showing its effectiveness against, in part, the Drow Ranger and all the physical damage she outputs, but it does seem like they definitely struggle to get these very dangerous backline heroes of Secrets, and they just kind of control the whole entire thing, especially mid one.
Yeah. Mid one is quickly approaching some of those high-level talents now as well, and it's this constant Ghost Walk usage as well. I feel like most high-level invokers you see are going to be focusing more on just pushing out the lanes for the team, but he's playing a much more like aggressive, deep on the map kind of playstyle where he's always using that Ghost Walk to try and scout out for his team, move through deep in the enemy side of the map, scout out this bottom lane before he farms. He's like, all right, no one's down here, now I'll farm it out. Or previously it was like he found the heroes and then then he gets like basically gives word to his whole team like, look, we found them, I scouted them out, come down here and let's fight. So very aggressive play from mid one on a hero that normally is a bit more kind of farmy and static and just not looking to fight quite as much as he is.
Finem are playing all defense and split push right now. You can see they've been using this. Oh no, he caught him. Nicely played by mid one. Managed to get him with the tornado on top of the X. Now he still has to leap out, but there is a wraparound here. Secret have been smoked up for a while now. They attempt to throw out the arrow onto mid one. Nice blink away there from Thug. Managed to dodge out Puppey. Puppey still on top of him. Gets the crush. A little bit of help from the press the attack, and KheZu's not going to pursue. How the hell did Kunkka get out? It looks like with the Moonlight Shadow, he was able to get away as well. So that's just space for Finem to work with.
Yeah, they'll take that. Kunkka surviving, yeah, with a TP out in the trees after the invis, and Luna at top managing to finally find some farm and space, like you say. And this is level 4 Luna disruption illusions. Now Puppey,
He does have a Yule Scepter, so he will protect himself from that purge damage. And Madara will leave. I don't like what they've been doing here, Spartan.
I'm
just doing a little bit more, you know. He's just forcing Secret back, thinking, oh, I'm still around, guys. Seeing if he can force those kind of rotations and Secret to oblige.
Got an extra, like, 600-700 damage on that T2 tower. May even see it get denied now, which is fine. Like, you're not, like, yeah, the money's nice and all, but more than anything at this point, you just want those towers taken down as early as possible. So, plays from Spartan, very aggressive. And Finem are at least keeping themselves in this game for now. They do have to try and progress towards some kind of late game goal, which is mostly going to be around the Shadow Demon Luna. Like, Luna's going to be going all out on stats. Like that matter is not thinking about any kind of BKB pickup. Ooh, it's a dual kill up top, yeah.
With the Boots of Travel set up, Finem are trying to split Secret up as much as possible, but mid one was sitting behind this one. Nice torrent into a boat. That'll hopefully save Thug as he makes his way out with a Blink Dagger. Maybe next time hides in the trees here. Does not actually have a TP, but Secret aren't really searching for him. Anyway, a dire scan doesn't really work. Attempted torrent to stop that TP doesn't actually make it. They're chasing down Madara right now. They do have the Moonlight Shadow. The Eclipse goes out. KheZu gets bursted down in that small window. The slum little split-second stun there of the Lucent Beams allows multiple Eclipse Beams to be able to land. And Madara will actually pick up one kill and get out. What's with the lack of counter vision?
Yeah, they just diving. They were relying on Puppey. Like, Puppey's probably like, all right, I've got the haze, guys. Let's go charging in. But very well-timed Mirana Moonlight Shadow. Often you'll see a team like Popper when the fight's already broken out, but they use it knowing that Secret's going on top, so they can go invis before Puppey's even able to hit a haze or hit someone in a stun, so he can set that haze up. And point Secret's just diving in blindly into invis heroes with no detection, and there's no way that's going to end up well for you either. Like, best case scenario, you get no kills and Finem just disengage. Worst case scenario, you're losing multiple heroes. Luckily for Secret, I think they only lose the puck. Puppey was luckily in the tree, so he wasn't getting hit by the Eclipse.
And the funny thing is, Puppey's so rich too. He's got the 10% support taxes here. He's got Yule's, Blink Dagger, working on, he has a medallion. He's actually going to be working on a Hooded Defiance, but you'd think at least a little bit of that gold would be going to one dust, but multiple times now that Moonlight Shadow has managed to save some of these heroes of Finem.
You see him holding at least a sentry ward now, but that itself is even from poor Pile Die, so be obviously wanting to get some good key late game items. I mean, Puppey is
poor Pie's like trying to save up for a gem right now. He's like, yes, Puppey, I'll get the gem. Don't worry.
And yeah, you know that's not going to be Pie's gem, so
yeah, he's not going to be the one holding it.
There's some this is not like just a Puppey thing. This is like some 4-position players just love to like soak up the farm, get these items. Like we see Puppey like farm his Solar Crest when he's playing those like Dazzle type heroes, but
You know this gem is going to find a couple of wards, and you know Puppey's going to take the last hit from it, too. He's going to take that 100 gold from the wards. Pie's going to be like, but that's my gem. Double damage working on Roshan right now. Scouting arrow doesn't actually land on anything. They will manage to get that Aegis, but Puppey, in his attempt to stop Finem, almost gets caught, but a Yule Scepter blink out allows him to actually save his own life. MP, kind of similar scenario here. Caught out with the Aegis, but they can't actually chase him down fully. Mid one's causing a lot of havoc, especially to Madara, who's now stuck inside the ice wall. Does manage to get off the Eclipse, and a safe disruption buys Madara more time for that magic damage to go out, but Secret are dancing away from it and then return to finish him off with physical damage, also catching Skylark inside the ice wall and make pretty easy work of him. Puppey brought back. The arrow's actually going to miss out as Yule Scepter used on. Maybe next time prevents that pullback, and maybe next time is easily brought down with the Corrosive Haze and the physical damage of MP. Secret win out big time. They take down 3. They still have the Aegis on MP, and they're going to threaten high ground, trying to force some buybacks.
Yeah, a really good time to do so, and even if those buybacks come out, you know there's no Eclipse. World of difference having the detection as KheZu with a gem bought by Puppey, so Pilot Eye doesn't have to buy the gem at least. Yep. But yeah, Secret actually having the vision there. Some nice defense, like a nice defensive disruption, kept Luna alive a little bit longer, but they just couldn't get enough damage dealt with that Eclipse to turn the fight in their favor at Finem, and they're going to be on the back foot now, probably playing that high ground defense game and trying to take what little bits of farm they can on the map, because at this point, Secret's going to be able to really take over the map with the gem and aggressive ward vision that they're going to be looking to set up.
I have a funny feeling that Pilot Eye had to sign like another year contract with Secret in order for Puppey to buy that gem. At Finem, they do have plenty of split push though, right? They've been playing the same game. It's been a while since we've seen Kunkka, but we can't forget that this is one of the ultimate split push heroes with the right kind of cores. He has been caught though. Puppey has picked up the right kind of items to help deal with this X with the Yule Scepter, and he's managed to hunt down maybe next time in the pullback there. It's given space to Thug to be able to push out bottom lane, but Secret may still try and go high ground here. 50 seconds left on the Kunkka, and he is a huge key to Finem's defense.
Oh yeah, that's going to make life a bit harder. They've also used that Moonlight Shadow. Even with the gem there, Puck may not always be around to provide that detection, so can't use that for this high ground push, and they're just going to slowly look to siege it with the Alacrity Drow Ranger. Lunar Illusion's doing a little bit to slow this down, and they started by chipping away the Drow Ranger.
Urge on the Puppey, but nobody feels comfortable chasing that one out. They just try and throw an arrow at him, but he still has that Yule Scepter. The tier 3 tower is going to be brought down. Secret, with 10 seconds left on the Kunkka, not feeling comfortable going high ground, are going to back away. I like the fact that they're still respecting the team fight of Finem, even with an Aegis in hand. Plus, they actually almost have a Butterfly for Drow Ranger, and that'll be a huge upgrade in damage, mostly, for Secret.
Yep. Helps out a lot against the Luna, who, if your Drow's the one hitting the base, it means those Luna Illusions coming in from Shadow Demon dealing quite as much damage as they were previously, so make life a little bit easier. Right now, Finem just kind of trapped in their own base. They can't really get out on the map. They can't even get to their secret shop. It looks like the courier's on a mission to get up there, but even that is difficult. Luna wanting to finish that Skadi. Let's say it really feels like Madara is just short items right now. Doesn't have much farm, but a lot of it is being just built up into the coffers of where he can hopefully finish that Skadi before this high ground push comes in.
He was in danger of being picked off there by Secret. Would have had the buyback, but there's no way that Finem can win this game without some progression in items on this Luna. As you said, Thug's gonna throw out an arrow. Seems like Secret just kind of poke in. They smoked up. They're seeing if they can find a pick off, see if Finem stretch out a little bit too far. Somebody like Thug, especially with the Yule Scepter, if they could time it at the right time. Oh, there it is! The X brought back right as Puppey hit the Yule Scepter. Nicely played by the captain of Secret. They get the pick off they needed. 80 seconds down, and Secret will march into the base.
It's great to see. Like, it wasn't even like they got annoyed by that X Mirana farming a couple of times, and then we're like, oh wait, how do we solve this? Let's get a Yules. Puppey like preemptively like rush straight Yules this game against the Kunkka, and we're seeing him constantly try and punish that play.
Rax almost being brought down, but here comes the true fight in the back lines. Shallow Grave will help save mid one against this duel. MP is having a hard time dealing with all this bouncing damage, but he does have the Aegis, and he's bringing Mono lower and lower. Another disruption, another attempted save. Somebody finish off MP. He finally does go down, press the attack, and a Shrine will heal Mono back up. A 3 versus 4 is going to commence here over this range tracks, or no? Secret, they're actually just going to go straight for bottom. Bigger objectives in mind, thinking that they can win out in this team fight. There is still an Eclipse up. Amadara, he doesn't actually have the space to be able to use it. He gets brought down so quickly. Now MP, he may be X'd up, but he's going to be able to pursue. Maybe next time, an easy kill there. NATO into Sunstrike. Puppey's forcing back the last hero of Ad Finem, and with nobody up here, big cores down, especially their Luna for 60 seconds. Seems like Ad Finem are just going to lose to the push of Secret straight into the tier 4s.
Yeah, they couldn't quite find an opportunity to get the Eclipse off on that high ground defense. Secret just very safely chipping away at the racks and waiting for Ad Finem to go on them. And by the time they do, Luna gets brought down like really low on HP. Doesn't want to use the Eclipse when she's on like 400-500 HP, has to get disrupted, and